Good morning, RGLTV. Not to discern from those of you who actually have evening going on right now. Hope you're all having a great time with this arcade block. Got a couple more games for you prior to the N64 Sprint coming up in a little bit over an hour. So, Simpsons Arcade is certainly a game that a lot of people are familiar with. And those who are familiar with my work know that I've been running this game for quite some time. I think I first picked it up back in 2017. It's still going pretty strong. Like, it still has like new runners all the time. And the thing a lot of people don't know is that the best speedruns of this game are always going to take place in the Japanese version, which is what I'm playing for you today. Let me go ahead and pop in the coin, so to speak. Every character's good, but Marge is my most familiar character, so we'll go ahead and pick her. Really, if you're doing a speedrun of this game, Homer is by default the worst character through no fault of his own, but any of the other three characters will service. Okay, so for those that have played TMNT arcade games will know how a lot of these moves look. Got our basic attacks, got our jumping attack. Big difference between that game and this game is in this game you can pick up items, and items are really good. See there, you picked up a road sign, picked up a stop sign, you know, like characters do. Come on, take the hit. Got a little bit wiggled on there. Not how I wanted that to go. Oh my gosh, can't get any double button inputs. Okay, here's the first major difference in the Japanese version. Well, aside from the nuke that started the stage, we all saw that. Take out this clown, eat a hot dog. All right, and here we have our first boss. That's unfortunate, but not the end of the world. That's annoying. So some really bad splash RNG. But essentially the idea is that using the broom, we can kill him in 11 hits. If you're playing the US version of this game, which a lot more people are familiar with, you're having to do like just hit and run tactics, like hit him, knock him down. When he gets up, cause him to whiff, hit him again. Takes a lot longer. I'd rather just be able to kill him in under 15 seconds. Not particularly good, but at least the bonus game out of the way. In the US version, if you win the bonus game, you get a health refill. In the Japanese version, you get a health refill at the end of any stage, no matter what. It's quite a bit kinder. So realistically, a full health refill happens only after 2 stages, 1 and 6, whereas here it just always happens. Here, boy. Thank you. I was trying to be the guy to bait to do a slide. Hit you. Okay, second busted weapon. Here we had the hammer. Now the hammer is always there regardless of what version of this game you're playing. However, the hammer in this game is quite a bit more powerful. As you can see, we get this dive move to go with it. Oh, I have to take them all out? Okay. That was annoying. That guy took forever to spawn. Alas, we move on. We get over it. Dodge that. Yeah, okay. So as you can see, the dive does have a pretty big hitbox, but it can have some problems. Characters can be hit from underneath when they're doing stuff like that. It's very possible to just vaunt over them, which you don't really want. Also should have grabbed those donuts at the beginning of the stage. That was a mistake. In this game, you can actually gain temporary health. So if you're already at full health, you can just, if you pick up a healing item, it actually gives you temporary HP in the form of yellow HP. Won't happen in this stage, but it might matter later. Give me that, please. Thank you. So the crusty balloon's a little bit random. We'll be able to kill it in 8 hits no matter what, but we'll see if we get some bad RNG after the first 3 hits. Now after the 6, okay. So that's random. Sometimes it just decides after a cycle of hits, just go to the back and spawn a bunch of cherry bombs. There's really nothing you can do about it. It's a free time loss, and if it happens, it happens. Anyway, 8 hits later with the hammer, and we'll get to move on. On to the first stage that I would actually consider to be difficult. Stage 3 has some things. One of those things is enclosed space, by which I mean there's really not a lot of space in the beginning of the stage to move up and down. I'm just gonna ignore that guy. That guy actually doesn't spawn out of the tree if you don't touch him, so you can just ignore him completely. Yep, that's the thing that happens sometimes. Umbrella guys are kind of miserable. Yeah, not used to you doing slides, but okay. Getting some minor dropped inputs here. That dude has some serious backdash capability. Okay, now we have the slingshot. Slingshot also very good here. US version, killing zombies with a slingshot takes 3 hits. Here it only takes 1. Do that. Take these out. Should have a double kill here. There we go. I'm gonna take the free health in case we need it. Extra health by the end of this stage is kind of important. If the boss fight goes wrong, you might need to be able to take it. Sucks for that guy. And on to our mandatory beat 'em up elevator section. This one's not complicated at all. You can actually time scam this, which is what I always do. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let 3 enemies spawn and just let them chase me until they get to the bottom. I always listen for a music cue to know when I can hit them. Whee! We'll just be dancing around a little bit, not letting anything happen. Whee! Marge just riding the vacuum cleaner. That angled dive kick where she sits on a vacuum cleaner is one of my favorite sprites in the game. It just looks so amazing. So we got... okay. Nice bait. Okay, so here I have a visual cue. There's a quick kill you can do on this boss, and it gets really difficult if you miss it, so I'm hoping this is good enough. That was unfortunate. I was vertically misaligned. I still have a small chance here. Okay, so it took the big guy out first. Okay, so didn't get the quick kill I wanted, but I was able to recover it pretty well. The visual cue I set up on the brown stripe was a little bit too high. It should have been a little bit lower. Probably off by a few pixels. No big deal, it happens. We recovered and we didn't die. That's the important part. Take you out. So I forget whose content it was, and I really should remember so I can give him a shout out. I actually found this hammer watching just like a, I don't know if it was like a let's play of this game, but yeah, someone showed me there was a hammer just chilling there at the top of the bathroom. So now I just use that at the beginning of the stage, so then I get rid of it so I can use the broom. There's no real mechanical difference between the broom and the hammer. Tossing one of them is just a free way to kill an enemy who's far away. Come here. Thank you. And this can be one of the more discerning things about the game. Making sure you get the hits when you need them is not the easiest thing at times, because enemies just, enemies in this game kind of just have really tiny hitboxes, especially in a horizontal manner. Check that guy. And from the last boss to this boss, this is actually an exploit I discovered a few years back, I think it was 2020. If you just stand behind this guy and you do short hop little like instant overhead dives like this, he can't actually get out of it. Like, these are just complete unblockables against this guy. Very easy fight once you know that. It's marvelous, darling. Okay, that clears out the first half of the game. On the second half, we have arguably the hardest stage, as I refer to it as the butt. Actually pronounced butte, but it's really butt. We all know this. New enemy here in the gorillas. They can be annoying. As long as you're on them as soon as they spawn, it's usually not that difficult to deal with them. But if they actually get to fight you, they can become an issue. They have a bicycle kick they can like chase you with, and of course they have like pretty good retaliation moves like that. I'll take this, let you come out of there, get some free health. Slingshot time again. Okay, I got a little bit close there. Go away. That guy kind of 50-50s. Sometimes he jumps, and when he jumps, it's really, really good when that happens, but there's no guarantee that he will. I think he usually does it reactionary. Yeah, this broom was actually discovered by a former world record holder in this game, Makina Azul. And this broom is actually instrumental in how this stage 5 boss fight goes. So here we have the bar. Right off of his Hulu show. This fight used to be a lot more difficult in terms of execution until the broom was discovered. Now it's just an RNG fight. RNG being the boulders. Where the boulders fall is completely random. You can't determine it at all. You just have to hope to be able to avoid and dodge, and that can be an issue at times. Nothing terrible, but it's what it is. Okay, we missed rescuing Maggie. Oh, I forgot about the plot in this story. Smithers tries to steal a diamond for Burns. Thwarted escape attempt by Homer. The diamond ends up in Maggie's mouth, and Smithers, instead of removing the diamond, just decides to kidnap Maggie instead. And now the Simpsons have to go do this thing where they play rescue mission. Anyway, this is Dreamland. The most unique stage in the game, because no enemy in this game, in this stage, is reoccurring. We never see these enemies again. Saxophones is actually the hardest part, so I'm actually pretty glad that went as well as it did. They can get away from you and cause all kinds of mayhem. You don't want that. Take out all these letters. These power plant workers are kind of interesting. They have not random health, but inconsistent predetermined health, I guess is the way to put it. All right, so we found this nuke thanks to Zerst, another former world record holder in this game. Take those out. That section actually used to be the hardest in the stage until the nuke was discovered. The nuke just reduces all the devils down to 1 HP. All right, stage 6 boss, we got this bowling ball. Get out of the way. Okay, so second phase, throw this. Got 2 hits, very good. Got some really good RNG there. After the first top, you want him to stay put. That way you can just continue to do that to him and he can't get away from you. Okay, so for the final phase, I'm gonna go ahead and just keep swinging. He's actually not taking damage during this. I only do it to maintain rhythm. For the last phase, we'll just have to avoid the extendo arm, keep hitting him with the Armika attack. And there we go. So shout out to the Simpsons house being on a cloud. I found that very endearing for some reason. Excuse me. Still fighting some sinus stuff to close out the season. Another quick bonus game. If this were the US version, this would be the second part where you could go for a full health refill, and you have to actually win the game. So in a co-op run, a lot more irritating. You should do better than that, but that's okay. Haven't had to mash in a bit. Okay, so on to the last full stage. I think this is a flavor fail because stage 7 is channel 6. I think they could have worked around that. Take this. Now this stage ordinarily would be difficult just based on the quantity and quality of enemies that we get. But we get to start the stage out with a hammer, and it doesn't make it completely trivial, but it makes it a lot easier than it would be otherwise. If you had to play this out like stage 3, for example, where you never get a sub-weapon, it would be significantly more dangerous. Take this guy out. All right, here we have one of the only examples of a mid-boss. This robot. Have to wait for it to fire its laser, then you can go in for another hit. All right, I got a despawn. I'm gonna go for it here. Okay, if you kill those 2 guys really quickly, you actually despawn an enemy from coming out of that door. So we actually got it, and that's really good. I've been missing that a lot lately. Okay, I don't know how that didn't touch you, but whatever you say. So you have these enemies that are completely not foot soldiers at all. No way, no how. Not used in any other Konami license games. They have some really tricky movesets, but once you can bring the hammer down, they're not an issue. Get some cool music to go with them, too. That's actually one of the things I like most about this game. It has a really good rotating soundtrack. No boss theme is reused. These guys spawn, take care of them really quick. And here we have our stage 7 boss. The Shogun looking duder. Who gets dive loop just like the rest. You're gonna reappear. Okay, got really fortunate there. Normally, if you're not able to take care of that crony before you're able to beat him, he can cause some real issues. It's all enough stage 7. On to our last stage, which is really just a couple of boss fights. But one of them is the most difficult boss fight in the game, so we'll at least have some challenge left. Alright, so when Smithers shows up, the first thing I'm going to try and do is spawn some hidden food. That's one. There's 2 more, but I'll get them later. I want to make sure I can start hitting him as quickly as possible. That's 5. Get him to whiff. So there's a specific cycle of hits that you have to work with here to be able to ensure you can maximize time. Took me a while running this game to realize that. So I used to kind of just go in gung-ho and all that. This should do it. And just smother him with this for the time being. There we go. Okay, he's gonna drop a bunch of food for us, which is nice. Yay, repetitive sound bites. So I believe that last piece of fruit is gone, but there will still be one left. All right, so Burns is an interesting boss fight. It's also the reason why I choose Marge. Bart and Lisa have pretty good Burns fights as well, but the positioning of theirs is a bit different. And I'm just used to this. So the idea is I want to get him against the bookcase, so now I'm going to do some rhythm tapping on the hits. As long as I position him correctly, I should just be able to infinite him to death. He has to make transitions like he's doing right now, so he gets some iframes. But once he's up and moving again, we're just going to start hitting him again. He shouldn't be able to get out of this if I do this correctly. All right, that's not great positioning there. Didn't love that. All right, 1 cycle left. As long as I time this right, he's not going to be able to get out of this, so I'm just going to keep hitting. All right, good beats. Put him down. Hit him one more time. And I'll never object to sub 17 in a marathon. Break its legs. So yeah, we beat Burns. Maggie does not want to take her pacifier back, as it turns out. Just takes the diamond instead. Maggie's kind of greedy. Most people don't know that. Then we get an ending shot from a season 1 episode, which I actually think was a great touch. Thank you all for the GGs. I always do enjoy revisiting this game. It wasn't the first beat 'em up I sunk my teeth into as a speedrun, but it's the one that's been the longest lasting. Like, I think I revisit this game at least once a year, and I've been running it for almost 7, so. It's a sweet game, and out of all the Konami beat 'em ups, it's probably the deepest and most rewarding speedrun of any of them, my opinion, but others may feel different. All right, that's gonna do it for this game. We actually were able to, due to some schedule shifting, we were actually able to slot in one more bonus run ahead of the sprint, so I'll have that back for you here in just a moment. The first thing I'm gonna do is enter my initials. Well, I kinda lied, not mine. But they're the ones that matter. So many Maggies. All right, y'all, sit tight and I'll be right back with you for game 2.